Guys, you have no idea how long I've been arguing with ChatGPT whether I'm supposed to plug the MIDI in into the MIDI out or the MIDI out into the MIDI out, and I think I've lost my sanity, but I got it. I got it. Can you see this? Okay, so today we've gathered here because I'm attempting to learn how to make music. Yay. After I've been thinking about this and planning to do this and wanting to do this for ages. For the record, I don't know how to play the piano. I don't know how to play any instrument. I've learned or taken some lessons for playing the guitar like 10 years ago, so I think it's safe to say I forgot everything about that. I've never learned any music theory. I've opened Ableton maybe 5 times in my life before, so you're just gonna see me try to make something out of nothing, and hopefully it's going to be inspiring for other people to start music or anything really, because I know for me it's the toughest thing to start and take the first steps, because I'm super uncomfortable being a beginner and failing and not knowing what to do. So you will see me do stuff that I don't know how to do. Hope that sounds exciting. Okay, I moved onto the bed because I was not comfortable at the table anymore, and I didn't feel like I need the piano. I got a little tired of it, and I got into the problem I specifically knew I would have, and that's the fact that I made like 3 different I got like 3 different melodies that I did on the piano, and they all sound completely different. And they have like no correlation to each other, and they don't even have a correlation to this intro that I had. So basically nothing is cohesive here, and I'm also not even trying to use all of them at the same time. And it just sounds completely different from each other, and I don't know what direction to go with it, because I feel like every time I have an idea and then I want to make something based off that idea to kind of complete that and then add another layer, it still doesn't work. It still sounds completely like a separate entity. I need to calm down. Good morning. It's currently 9:30 and I feel tired, but it's okay. We're going to start with listening to what I did last night. Okay, so that is like the intro that I kind of did the day before yesterday, but I switched it up. I added this water drop sound, which I'm not that happy with. it doesn't do what I wanted it to do. Maybe I will find another sample for that, but the point is that this is just an intro, and then it have this very like whoop, which is basically reverse sounds that makes it like have this strong build up, and then it's going to drop the drums, which is what I imagined. I'm not sure what it's going to drop yet, but I feel like the drums is a good starting point. I like drums in songs because that kind of gives, I mean, that is what gives like the pulse of it and the danceability of a track. By the way, I have no idea what genre I'm trying to do. I have no idea what, I mean, I do have an idea of what emotions I want it to have. And I think vibes-wise, I'm satisfied so far. But the second part I'm going to show you now is actually much different than the first. But the point is, even if it's bad, my one aim is to make it not boring. I think that's a good start. I think I made something. Fun fact, I learned a really cool new thing because I have a kick, right? A kick. I don't know why I'm not screen recording anyways. And what I wanted to do, what I heard is good, is if you sidechain everything to your kick, which means everything kind of goes more silent when the kick hits, so it gives it like this pulsing effect. And I put a compressor. This is what a compressor looks like, and the point of this is that it like dips every time the kick hits, you see. And I put a compressor on everything one by one as I was adding the layers, and then I noticed that my sound was cracking because my it was just too much for my laptop. And then now I finally learned how to group these together, and now everything that I want to dip when the kick hits, I put in this group, and then I put the compressor on the group. And if I play now, I can see my CPU here, usage over here, and this used to go like 40% as I was previewing my song. This is how much it matters. That's crazy. In case anyone else didn't know what a bongo is. You know, I was going to look for a kick that sounds disgustingly distorted and nasty, but I can't find one that is exactly like how I want it, so I realized I could just make it myself. I'm kidding. One thing I kinda already know, at least I know it exists, is overdrive. Can you even hear it? So I have this. This is without the EQ. Okay. My way of doing things is literally that I just take something and I just start like turning the knobs random ways, and then if it doesn't sound good, I just reset it. I'm gonna learn by trying, I don't know. My output is completely red when it hits, so maybe I should take some gain off. Um, um, why is this? Okay, guys, I just laid down with my eyes closed and listened to this song. I think I can call it a song now. I just listened to it from beginning to end with my eyes closed, and I think it sounds so much better than as I was so like stuck in it, of staring at it and just listening to like fragments of it as I was editing, that I went totally deaf to the entire stuff, and now I just listen to the whole thing together and I realized that it's kind of actually not that bad, I feel. So I think the last couple of things I wanted to add and I wanted to try to make was really not fitting in, and it just got like messier. So I decided to leave it as this. Okay, guys, I just laid down with my eyes closed and listened to this song. I think I can call it a song now. I just listened to it from beginning to end with my eyes closed, and I think it sounds so much better than as I was so like stuck in it, of staring at it and just listening to like fragments of it as I was editing, that I went totally deaf to the entire stuff, and now I just listen to the whole thing together and I realized that it's kind of actually not that bad, I feel. So I think the last couple of things I wanted to add and I wanted to try to make was really not fitting in, and it just got like messier. So I decided to leave it as this. We will listen to it tomorrow.
Aha. Yes. Okay. So forgive me for what the sound sounds like. It's actually very confusing that I can hear myself. Anyways, as you can see, I literally just woke up and sat down here. I have the original first project, or like the first song that I was working on. This is what it looks like. Also, this is my bestie's microphone as well, so bless her soul for having such cool stuff. So what I wanted to admit is that I never started. No, that's not true. I started a second project yesterday after I said that this is done, and I feel like I'm gonna leave it as it is. But I struggled, and I spent my entire evening trying to make something new, and then I was like overwhelmed, and I decided that I will try to make the one thing that's missing from this first project, from this first idea, vocals. But also, I cannot sing. I wanted to talk a little bit, explain like what I was thinking about while doing it. I have water, this water drop. Oh no, I'm too loud. What the hell? I have this water drop sound, and I have this ambient that I showed before sample that I put here and I chopped up and then I reversed, and that's it. So this is the kind of white noise atmosphere shaping sound that I just wanted to, I don't know. This is kind of what I'm trying to connect to the ambient sample from the beginning with vibe wise. This is some kind of chord, I don't know, I was just pressing stuff. We have the drums. It's literally just a kick sample that I put after each other on every 1 and 3 of the beat. And then I also put the snare, which is also just a sample, so it's just an audio file I just found in the Ableton library, and then I just put it on every 2 and 4 of the beat. sometimes I doubled it to give it some more structure. That's literally the entire thing. It's really not that cookie crazy. The most interesting part probably is this is what I use the piano for. I think this would be the percussion of the song. This is like the middle layer. This is where the melody comes from, as far as I understand. So now we actually get to my favorite part, which is just the second layer of the soft chord instrument. I don't know, I think it speaks for itself. Like if I just listen to these two together. I feel like it just adds a little thing that you don't necessarily notice if you're not focusing on it, you're not looking for it. It just adds its kind of atmospheric detail. I don't know if this is sub bass, but it's a bass. So actually, while I was sitting at the piano, I wrote like 4 different melodies. This was one of them. This was actually the first melody I wrote, and I really liked it. But then I wrote other things, and then I realized, because I was trying to write them to like complement each other, but they didn't, and they sounded completely different. So I was like, I had to throw it in the trash. Like, there are 2 more melodies that I saved separately to use maybe for something else, because I like them, but they just didn't fit in this realm. I just like how it sounds. I don't know if it makes sense for it to be here. I think that's all. Here I kind of put this ambient sample from the beginning back. It ties it together kinda. I might try and sneak it in somewhere else throughout the song, and this is the kind of structure I have for it now. And I was like, yeah, you know what, this is fine, I'm gonna leave it as that. But now I started to add some vocals to it. I literally sat down and I just started humming. Well, that's it so far. I'm gonna get back to the vocals. I hope this makes sense.
Okay, honestly, here's the song. I'm just gonna put it here and play here and end the video because I had a thought that I'm just going to finish this and make it into something actually perfected. And I spent my entire day today as well doing this. And I got super invested and super carried away, but now I just have to go to sleep, and I'm going to be working for the next 2 days, and I don't want to come back to this anymore. I just want to start something new next time I sit down in front of Ableton. So I'm just going to let this be imperfect, and I'm going to let this be whatever, because this is the first shit I ever did. So I don't care. I don't care what it's like. It's done. I am not going to touch it anymore. I cannot sing for shit. Mind that. I hope this was kind of fun to watch. I don't know, it was fun to make for sure, and I definitely want to make more stuff. And that was kind of the whole point, so I think it worked.